Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are going through Misra, Jathi, Triputa, Thalam, level 3. We have seen few sequences in that, how to go about adapting the Tadindina sequence, Taka Dimi Dhimi Taka sequence, Taka Dhimi Tata Dhimi, Tadhimi Taka Tadhimi. We have seen the perspectives, different ideas. Now today I am going to cover Dhim Tadhimi Dinaka, the perspective of how to go about it. Dinkitadak Dhim, Din Thankita, how we can go about it. I'll give you an idea. It's somewhat very similar, but I thought if we could revise it, as it's a bigger thala of 11 beats, it gives you a better idea how to go about creatively in future when you actually pursue more advanced lessons. Before I get into Dhim Tadhimi Dinaka sequence and the variations what you can follow, I will start this class with the Tirukkural. Aggi ahandra arivu ennam yar mattum vekki veriya செய்யின் பிறர் பொருளை கவர எண்ணி அறிவுக்கு ஒவ்வாத செயல்களை செய்பவர் எவ்வளவு நுட்பமான அறிவு உடையவராய் இருந்தாலும் அவ்வறிவால் ஒரு பயனும் இல்லை. What does Thiruvalur say here? If you try to grab somebody's wealth, somebody's property, which is not true to your consciousness, however intelligent you are, it is of no use. He strongly compares that. So you should not have idea of something grabbing somebody's property. And that's what Thiruvalur means with this good thought. We will get into the class. So, Dhimta Dhimidinaka, traditionally in Adi Thalam, how we used to play, Dhimta Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhim, Tattalanga Dhim. That's the way you play Dhimta Dhimidinaka. Very beautifully, what you can do is take the first 3 beats. Let's take the vanilla form. Dhimta Dhimidin, Dhimita Dhimidin. Let's pad it up with a 1.5, 1.5 for the 3, and then play the exact Adi Thalam paragraph, and then we can execute this Misra Jathi Triputa Thalam. So how it goes I will express, and then I will also play. Dhimta Dhimidin, Dhimita Dhimidin, Dhimta Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhim, Tattalanga Dhim, Dhimidin, Dhimita Dhimidin, Dhinta Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhim, Takatalanga. So we can also do for Tattalang, Takatalang, Tham Kitataka, Tharikitaka. I'm going to, since it's the same sort of a pattern, I will demonstrate you a couple of phrases and you can practice as a homework the rest of it. Okay? That's the first paragraph. Then Talangataga Dimitin, Dimita Dimitin, Talangataga Dim, Dinaka, Dimita Dimitina, dimita dimitinaka dimita dim tathalong taka dimitin dimita dimitin talong taka dim dinaka dimita dimitinaka dimita dimitinaka dimita dim tathalong taka dimitin dimita dimitin talong taka dim dinaka dimita dimitinaka dimita dim tathalong taka dimitin dimita dimitin talong taka dimitin nak dimita dimitinaka dimita dim tathalong taka. This is the next paragraph, how you have to play Thalam in dimta dimitinaka sequence. I said one time in this sequence because it's a very similar lesson. So let me also play and show you. That is how you have to play takudiku tagadim. That is how you have to play this vanilla form of Dink. Let's also look at how I have to play. I'll demonstrate that, and then I'll give the perspective of how to go about Dhimta Dimitinaka in different forms later. you have to play the sequence. So, if you want to look at a different perspective, now the another way of representing, as I told you, for getting 11, 3 units we can take. 3 units. Dhim ta dhimi dinaka dhimi naka. Dhimi ta dhimi dinaka dhimi naka. Dhim ta dhimi dinaka dhimi naka. These are the 3 units of equal sizes, and then the phrase dhimi ta dhim ta thalange. Dhimi ta dhim takadalange. Dhimi ta dhim tankidadaga. Dhimi ta dhim tarikidadaga. These are the 4 different phrases you can try. This is one of the perspectives. So, dhim ta dhimi di naka dhimi naka, dhimi ta dhimi di naka dhimi na, dhim ta dhimi di naka dhimi naka, dhimi ta dhim ta thalang, dhim ta dhimi di naka dhimi naka, dhimi ta dhimi di na, dhimi naka, dhim ta dhimi di naka dhimi naka, dhimi ta dhim takadalang. So, this is tathalang, takadalang, tam gedadaka, tari gedadaka. You can play all this in this format. As I told you, I'm going to give you homework how you can go about reducing this sequence and how you can take it till the end. This is one of the homework. The next homework would be the Misra type and then the later the Chatusra type. The Misra type, how it will happen, we also saw in Misra Jambai, 3.5 beats, 3.5 beats. Dhim ta dhimit din dhim ta dhimit din naka, dhimit ta dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din naka. How it's happening? You have to express that in Misra Chapatala. Dhim ta dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din naka, dhimit ta dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din naka. So it's a perfect 3.5, 3.5 split. You're trying to place in the 7. So it goes half beat when you are playing in a cycle of 7 beats. So you have to be careful. You have to express it correctly. Dhim ta dhimit din dhim ta dhimit din naka, dhimit ta dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din nak, dhimit ta dhimit din naka, dhimit ta dhim tathalange, takatalange, tatalange, takatalange, tam gedadaka tarigedagina. Again play. Then talanga taka dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din naka, talanga taka dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din nak, dhimit ta dhimit din naka, dhimit ta dhim tatalanga, talanga taka dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din naka, talanga taka dhimit din dhimit ta dhimit din nak, dhimit ta dhim tatalanga, talanga taka talanga taka talanga. You can actually play all the tagudiku taka dhim, dhingida taka dhim in this half beat cycle. 3.5, 3.5, 7 beats, and then the Chatusra form, which is because it's even number 4, you can play. Next one is 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. So this is a progressive way of doing it and then getting and playing a phrase. This is what I told you. I have thought over this Laya pattern, which is beautiful math and music integrated together. Dimita dimiti naka, dimita dimiti naka, dimi dimi dimita dimiti naka, dimita dimiti naka, tadim tathalange is a traditional form. Instead of that, what I am going to do is 1.5, 2, 2.5, and then 3. Dimita dimiti dimita dimiti naka, din dimita dimiti naka, din din dimita dimiti naka, dimita dim tatalanga dimita dimiti dimita dimiti naka, din dimita dimiti naka, din din dimita dimiti naka, dimita dim takatalanga. What a beauty here. Then you can actually reverse it. Din din dimita dimiti naka, din dimita dimiti naka, dimita dimiti naka, dimita dimiti dimita dim tatalangata. So you come from 3, 2.5, 2, and 1.5, and then the phrase. There's another way of doing it. So you can use all these homework for you. I'm just giving you the way and the approach how to do about it. I want you to work on it and come back with its entire sequence in this form, and also think about how to reduce in this particular sequence and how you can play a Tirman. The next one is the outer join and the inner join. What is the method? Din din dim ta dimit din naka dimita dimit din. So the 3 and a 1.5 If you join, it is 4.5. Then dim dim ta dimmi dinaka dimmi ta dimmi dinaka. 2.5 and 2, which is again a 4.5, and then the phrase which is for 2. So 4.5, 4.5, and then 2 adds up to 11 beats. So how it comes, I'll just give you a basic explanation. I want you to work in this format the entire sequence. Din din dimita dimit dinaka dimita dimit din dimita dimit dinaka dimita dimit dinak dimita dim tatalange. The combination I am making here is first 3. Din din dimita dimit dinaka. That is 3. Dimita dimit din is 1.5. So when you are playing fast, you will not, others will not know what you are trying to do. But this is the inherent math within it. Din din dimita dimit dinaka dimita dimit din. That's 4.5. Then from the next taka din dimita dimit dinaka dimita dimit dinaka. Din dimita dimit dinaka is 2.5. I can demonstrate in Ganda Chapter. Din dimita dimit dinaka. That is 2.5. So again dimita dimit dinaka is 2. Dimita dimit dinaka is 2. So 2.5 and 2 is again 4.5, and then you play the phrase dimita dim tatalang dimita dim takatalang dimita dim tangeta taka dimita dim tariketa taka. All these phrases you can play. Talang taka talang taka talang tagudigo taka tagudigo taka tagudigo dimita dim tatalang dimita dim tatagudigo. All these can come here. So these are the perspectives. To sum up, we have seen the vanilla, the first 3 beat split, and then the 8 beat of Adi Thalam. That's the traditional way of doing it. Then we saw the next form is 3 units. Dhinta dhimi dinaka dhimi naka. That's a 3 unit cycle, beat, 3 beats phrase. Use it thrice, 3 into 3, 9. Then the phrase. You have to play all the lesson. That's the homework for you. That's the second way of doing it. The third way of doing it is the half beat cycle. Misra Jathi Triputa Thalam. So the Misram, how beautifully you can split 3.5, 3.5. You can play Dhimita Dhimidin, Dhimita Dhimidinaka, Dhimita Dhimidin, Dhimita Dhimidinaka. The rest 4 is like Adi Thalam. Use this model, play all the sequence, reduce and finish. That's the third homework. I'm just giving you all the examples. You have to do the homework. I'm going to have a review with you, all of you, how we are doing it in its entirety. The next one is a beauty. 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. How it's well structured in this sequence. Dhimta dhimmi din, 1.5. Dhimta dhimmi dinaka, 2. Din dhinta dhimmi dinaka, 2.5. Din 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 the dhimmi dinaka, 3. So you have to understand 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, what you have to play in this sequence. That's important. Dhin ta dhimmi dhin, 1.5. Dhimmita dhimmi dinaka, 2. Dhin dhin ta dhimmi dinaka, 2.5. Dhin dhin dhimmita dhimmi dinaka, 3. All put together makes it 9 beats. Then the rest is 1, 2 for the 2 beats. Dhimmita dhim tatalang dhimmita dhim takatalang dhimmita dhim tangeta taka dhimmita dhim tariketa taka dhimmita dhim tatalang dhimmita dhim tattagadigu talang taka talang taka talang tagadigu taka tagadigu taka tagadigu. All this can come beautifully. It can interlude. Taketa dhim kita taka dena dhim kita taka dhim kita taka dena. All these can come beautifully. Can play, reduce and fire. So there are totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different varieties I've taught you. 5 and even 6, I would say 6, because the first one is vanilla, the second one is 3 beats, 3 units, the second one is the Misra split, the third one is the 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, the reverse 3, 2.5, 2 and 1.5, that is the fourth type, and the fifth type is the outer join, 3 and 1.5, 2.5 and 2, and then intertwining it beautifully. And then you can get about so many forms, so many varieties you can play in the sequence. So I want you to grab, tell it in all these forms, all these lessons, with the reduction, with the Thirmanam, master it, and I'll see you in the next class for more lessons. I'll end this class with the Tirukkural, and I'll move forward with Takadimi Takajunu, how to go about it. I'm going to cover 2-3 sequences which are very, very simple. Takadimi Takajunu, Tangut Thadim sequence, Thadim Tangu sequence, all these in the next class. I'll give the perspective more so for you to do homework, because that's the key. As you're learning more, once you have understood the basics and the science behind it and the maths behind it, I want you to do a lot of homework, and that will give you a lot of insight into you. Arul Vitki Atrin Kan Nindran Purul Vitki Pollada Sudap Kedum. What is the meaning of it? Arulahi Aratai Virimbi Avaratin Variyaha Illaratil Nindravan Pirar Purulai Virimbi Kutramana Varigalai Yendinal Arindu Povan. A person seeking now goodness in his life, a lot of virtues in his life, and if he wants to achieve all these things, the one thing what you should not do is have desire in somebody else's property. Try to grab somebody else's property. He should earn in his own way, in his hard way, by working hard and get in a righteous way whatever he wants to get. That's what the ruler says. And isn't it true that we need to get by hard work and not by grabbing somebody else? I think it is a common sense. We will try to emulate that. With this good thought, I'm signing off. I'll see you in the next class with 2-3 sequences, because which are very simpler in nature. I will give you the perspective, but there will be a lot of homework for you to do. Cheers. Pono RBA signing off.